Without us? Yes, without you. Yes, I play video games without you all the time, chat. I'm sorry, okay? Partially because a lot of you don't even want to watch me play video games, all right? I'm sorry, it's just the truth. A lot of you don't actually want to watch me play video games. It's sad. It's the sad truth, okay? Shakira is free. I don't care. I don't know why you guys do. All right. Let's get to like actual news. All right. Bill Burr is talking about the Uvalde massacre. Let's hear what he has to say. He usually has some good takes on like this.
I'm going to be controversial on this one. I'm going to solve the gun problem in the United States of America right now. Why don't you just do it like a pilot's license? You know what I mean? Like when you get a gun, like when you get like a pilot's license, you know, you're flying Cessnas or whatever. You can't just go fly an American Airlines jet. You got to work your way up. You got to get rated. You know, I don't think if you get like a gun license, I think the first thing you should get, regardless of your age.
Bill and I completely agree on this. Don't have an issue with guns, but do have an issue with the lack of regulation.
Is you get a little 6-shooter. That's all they give you. Or maybe one of those little Saturday night specials. That's
okay. Don't agree with that. That is a direct reference to a type of gun sale that was a part of the reason why there was a lot of gun violence. He's just joking right there. That's why he laughed right after that.
That's all the fuck you get, right? And then as you work your way up to more and more powerful guns that could potentially do way more damage.
Bro, this is literally verbatim what I say, except for the fact that handguns should be at the top of that list. Ironic that he said this, but I think it's because he doesn't understand. But no, you should be able to get a 22 and then work your way up, like a bolt action rifle, and then level up to handguns. Handguns being at the top because it's the hardest one to, and it's also the easiest one to conceal.
Damage. You have to pass major psychological evaluation. And if you do, the world is your oyster, and you can have whatever weapon you want.
How are handguns hard to shoot? Said the guy who wants to appear as a gun guy in the chat, just to show like how easy it is for him to shoot handguns. So he'll just like deny reality that like an AR-15 is the easiest gun to shoot in comparison to a handgun. I love when people say stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? I was only asking. Okay, well, let me tell you. If you've ever shot a gun, you know it is significantly easier to shoot a rifle. It's kind of the point. Okay? The shorter the barrel, the harder it is to shoot.
How about that? Does that work out for everybody? I wasn't saying take guns away. I wasn't saying this. I wasn't saying that. I wasn't talking about gender neutral Glocks. Just saying, you know, lunatics. Lunatics. At some point, can you not make it easy for a lunatic to oh my God, I don't want to talk about it because it's so overwhelmed. I can't imagine all of those people what they
like. I don't think you should be able to immediately purchase a firearm. I think that if you want to be able to purchase a firearm, you should be able, like, you can't get a passport without, you know, sucking the government cock for like 7 months. You know what I mean? Depending on like how quickly you can expedite it. But like when you want a gun, you can immediately get it. You know what I mean? Like that's insane. You should 100% have to go through a sequence of safety and training and demonstrate your competence with the weapon and be able to, and eventually be able to level up to guns that are easier to conceal and harder to shoot. Okay? Like it's wild. It's easier to become a, yeah, it's harder to become a barber than it is to become a cop. It's harder to become a barber than it is to like shoot a gun, you know? It's crazy. You should be able to demonstrate your competence. Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. There's people still, I don't know. Just, and I think the left is stupid because then they start yelling at people on the right. Not saying everybody on the right has a gun. Not saying everybody on the left doesn't like guns. I'm just saying like that this thing where you just start yelling at the other side. How about you just go, hey, what if we do this? What if we, try to weed out the bad apples by doing this? As long as you're not, hey, as long as you're not crazy, we'll give you a bazooka, right? And you can take it outside of your backyard and go shoot at something. I don't give a fuck. Someone would have a problem with that. Oh, that's a way to control people. It's a fucking... Anyway.
Is the SRA as cringe as the NRA? Some of the branches are, yes, but not all of them. But yeah, okay. Bill's take on gun control is like a little weird, a little odd, but it's all good. I think overall, good energy on there. I do agree with what he is saying. It's so important to be civil with the people who value their consumer goods over the lives of children. Yeah, never forget that this conversation is not really about like the constitutional, the constitutionally protected God-given rights or anything like that. This conversation isn't actually about. Like, standing up to tyranny with your weapon. This conversation exclusively is around inconveniencing people who want to fuck and suck their guns. They're gun perverts. They want to fuck their guns. They want to suck their guns. And they want to be able to buy as many guns as possible and as many rounds of ammo as possible. They can fantasize about like how this commodity that they're consuming is actually allowing them to stand up to a tyrannical government. They can fantasize about how this is going to, make them sicker and sexier and cooler. They can fantasize about all that, but ultimately it's just about inconveniencing them. And they would rather have more babies murdered in schools than be inconvenienced when they're purchasing their 11th rifle, okay? That's it. That's straight up the real reason. Like, I am not a person who's saying, like, ban every weapon, okay? Ban all the weapons. I like shooting guns. I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun, okay? And I totally understand if you're living in a super rural area, like, why you would need to have access to weapons, too. Like, I understand why you would need to have access to weapons if you want to go hunting. Okay, I understand, like, thinking that competitive shooting is fun and going to the gun range and shooting guns. I get all of that. But you can do all of that while also advocating for common sense gun regulation, okay? That's it. Common sense gun regulation can go hand in hand with all that. You're a freak, and you just don't want to be inconvenienced. Like, there's no part of the Constitution that's like, you should be able to get a AR-15 in a week without like any sort of significant checks. Wait, hold on. Is it to fend off the 30 to 50 feral hogs? Yes. That's the only thing. Hunting you? Really, chat? Lel. Don't need an assault rifle to hunt or fend off animals? No, the only reason why you have an AR-15 is because you play video games or you watch them in movies and you think they're sick to shoot, okay? That's it. They're fun, they look cool as fuck, and they're fun as fuck to shoot. That is straight up the only reason why you have an AR-15. It provides no utility in home defense. It provides no utility in hunting animals, okay? Literally, that's it. It's sexy, it's customizable, and that's precise, and it's super easy to shoot, and it's super fun to shoot because of that. And because it's super customizable, the gun manufacturers make a load of money off of it, okay? It looks cool and it's customizable. That is it. No, don't let anyone ever tell you that the AR-15 is a valuable tool for home defense. Don't let anybody ever tell you that the AR-15 is actually good for hunting. It's not. It's literally not. The 5.56 bullets are also incredibly expensive. It's not for sporting. It's not for anything other than just shooting. Okay? The tool of the AR-15, the goal of the AR-15 is to be able to use a semi-automatic long barrel weapon that can, basically blow through multiple dudes with ease. Okay? Easy to shoot, low recoil, no kickback. Basically, you're able to kill with a magazine that could take at least 30, you can kill multiple people with ease. That's it. You are not getting attacked by a death squad, okay? No death squad is coming to your home. And even in that situation, the best thing to do is, if you want to use a gun for home defense, a shotgun is significantly better. A pistol is significantly better. Ultimately, these are much better weapons. Every person who is like an actual gun person will openly admit this to you. It's just marketing. AR-15 is just marketing, okay? It's marketing because it is incredibly popular. It's incredibly popular because it's easy to shoot and fun as fuck to shoot. And you also see it in all the movies, different versions of it in all the movies, and that's it. As a biologist and hunter, the AR is only good for killing. Invasive species like hogs are one of the only small reasons to have it, but even then, it doesn't need to be privately owned. Yeah, I mean, invasive species like 30 to 50 feral hogs. Just like the top of the hour ad break is the best way to avoid, or just like a subscription is the best way to avoid the top of the hour ad break, right? Like, if you want to avoid the feral hogs, you got to get on your, helicopter with your AR-15 like Pigman and Ted Nugent and shoot down as many feral hogs as possible. These are invasive species, okay? Just like conflating. Oh, dude, I love this take. Big fan of yours, but all those statements are wrong, man. What about Ukraine? People don't think they need weapons of war until they actually do. What's up, dude? Are you gonna kill cops? Are you gonna murder cops, brother? Is that what you're saying? Are you gonna murder military members? When the tyrannical government comes for you, who do you think is gonna come for you? It's the cops. Are you saying that right now? Is that what your take is? That you're going to go out with your AR-15 and murder cops and military members when the tyrannical government's coming for you? Is that your take? What about Ukraine? That's what you're saying. Also, the reason for Ukraine's success currently against Russia is not necessarily AR-15s, brother. It's not. Let me tell you what it is. It's javelins. Do you want javelins? Do you think the Second Amendment should protect you against drone warfare? Do you think the Second Amendment means you should get Bayraktars in the form of drones? Is that what you think? Because that's what's helping Ukraine right now. It's not the small arms that's helping Ukraine. It's the javelins. It's the Bayraktars. It is the artillery that Canada is sending. It's the artillery that America is sending. So unless you are advocating for that level of warfare, considering that warfare has advanced since Vietnam War, you know what I mean? And unless you are openly stating that you are interested in murdering police officers and murdering, soldiers when they come knocking down your door, as it is like literally as it is a tyrannical government now, then don't talk to me about that shit. AR-15s are used to eradicate the biggest invasive species in North America. Americans? Yeah, that's true. The other kind of hog. Anyway, but the top of the hour subscription, or the $5 a month, or the free subscription in the form of a Twitch Prime, is used to eradicate the other invasive species, the top of the hour ad break. Thank you, Selton MacLeod, for the 8 gifted subs, which will allow 8 people to no longer see the ads as well. Here's the 1-minute ad break now. What country is a threat to the USA the same way Russia is a threat to Ukraine? No country. No country can come near the United States. Anyway. Do you have any further takes? I want to hear your takes now. Now that I mentioned, you said, what about Ukraine? Do you understand? Or do you recognize the flaw in your way of thinking? I wonder. Anyway. The same people who fantasize about repelling a government takeover are the same ones advocating to militarize the police force. Oh yeah, this is it. Pigman. This is what I was referencing. Pigman. Ultimate helicopter hog eradication clip.
Hey guys, Pigman here. Thank you for watching my YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe down, but they can't hide forever.
You know, it's so cold, what happens is these hogs, they'll get in groups, even if it's only two, like some of these boars. Two boars together creating body heat. They make a nest under that stuff where they can get the sun, but where we can't see them. And we're flying them over with a...
By the way, I'm not going to lie to you. I straight up would do this, okay? If given the opportunity, if I could shoot a AR-15 out of a helicopter at a bunch of invasive hogs that are killing your cattle or your livestock or whatever, or like destroying or like grazing on your ground, and you need to actually murder a bunch of them in succession, and I was given the opportunity, I would do it. I have to be honest with you, okay? Like, if I sat here and told you I don't think that that's fun, and I think that that is completely unacceptable, I would be lying to you.
Chopper and still not getting them up. Sirens and horns, and even unloading some lead down into their hollows, and they're still not getting them.
The brass is ankle deep on your side.
I don't need to go full auto, but I like it.
One of those pigs that I saw this morning had approximately 37 bullet holes.
Well, we got so horny to touch off rounds that we started...
Dude, they were unloading full auto into hogs from a helicopter. Like, that's insane. Americans are psychotic, dude. I mean, would I do it? Probably. But also, you know, it is still psychotic.
Shooting cadavers.
Yeah, we was cadaver hunting.
Abracadaver.
Well, obviously, I'm on the right side of the helicopter, so that means I'm shooting left-handed, and I told you it don't matter. You can put me wherever, on the skid head. I don't care. I know these pigs are going to eventually get pushed into one spot, and we're going to just...
Can you disprove / argue against the main anti-gun control talking points so I can learn more / how I can help others learn more? Also, I grew up with and live with Pigman's son, Lamau. Did you forget you're also American now? Dude, I've given... I wonder if I should like re-upload my old video. Like I have counters to all of these arguments, which I have talked about time and time again. I have had to repeat myself since I, you know, started writing articles and shooting scripts. I mean, writing scripts and shooting videos about this sort of thing for many years now, and I have already done it. I've talked about it. There is no, you should do another 15-minute video. Pigman's son, Piglet. Debunk the tyrannical government point. I have already debunked the tyrannical government point. Like, I've stated this time and time again. The government is already tyrannical, brother. I don't see you shooting cops and shit. Do you want to know why? Because once push comes to shove and the government is like being tyrannical in the way that you think it's being tyrannical, that like it's like openly in your face, you're dead anyway. You're anyway. Your counter about will you shoot the military is a really good one thing, you think? Yeah. Is that what you're going to do? Do you have javelins? Do you have drones? Will you strike at military targets? Are you going to be able to shoot cops and military members of the military? Is that how you're going to do it? You're not. Shut the fuck up. You're just not going to do that. Be like, Hasan would be like, Uvalde PD sucks meme day. I mean, this is, we are doing memes.
That's
and
what
Uvalde PD.
I am feeling deprived. I should already have killed 300 hogs.
9 o'clock. Good going, Brian. Thank you. Raj. We appreciate the port cleansing you provide. Right here, right here, right here, right here.
Stand by. Go hot.
I'm hot.
Anyway, so yeah, this is what they do basically. Speaking of hogs and hog hunting, Uvalde mom, who says who saved the kids from a school shooting, says the police threatened her in perhaps the least surprising but most frustrating new development coming out of Uvalde. The police are incompetent and they're monsters and they're horrible once again. And the American public is basically seeing that. Okay? They're seeing it. I think. But as is the case with our incredibly fast-paced news cycle and our attention spans that are diminished, basically, do I believe that this has staying power? No. I think that the victims, the actual victims in Uvalde, the families of the victims, they are the ones who will remember this forever. They are the ones who will remember that the police did not come to save them. They are the ones who will be left with scars, wounds that will not heal. But maybe a couple thousand people across the board, maybe 100,000 max, will also pay closer attention to police incompetence in this circumstance. New people that previously thought the police are there to protect and service. But ultimately, they're not going to, they're going to forget about this because the media will continue to write about how they're great. Next time some shit happens and the cops, behave in a way that they're supposed to, even if they're not doing the appropriate thing. We saw this in Tulsa, where the black surgeon was executed, Dr. Preston Phillips. The reason why I'm specifying that he's black is because I found out that only 2% of orthopedic surgeons in this country are black. 2%. He was one of them. That's how little that number is. Okay? Harvard graduate, got gunned down senselessly by one of his patients who went in to a gun store, same day purchase of an AR-15, literally picked it, bought the bullets, went into the hospital, said he was going to murder anyone who stands in his way, killed a couple people, and his own doctor. Okay? Buffalo shooting has been forgotten already, pretty much. And in that situation, though, in the Tulsa one, in the Tulsa situation, the cops didn't actually club it as hard as they did with Uvalde. Shooter went in, shooter did everything he was going to do, and then he killed himself. Okay? And he killed himself. And the media immediately was like, thank God the cops were there. It would have been so much worse if they weren't there. It's like, bro, he already killed the people that he wanted to kill and himself. What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean, dog? What do you mean? But the media is already rushing to do PR for the cops. Anyway. So, guns are so easy to get in America. Even homeless people are strapped up. Oh, dude, I saw this video. This video is insane. I mean, absolutely insane.
Hey, I don't usually do this, but boy, you look like you need some help, my brother. You don't need no help? You on the floor? You got a box? Oh, all right, put the thing up. Hey, I don't usually do this, but boy, you look like you need some help, my brother. You don't need no help? You on the floor? You got a box? Oh, all right, put.
Not to mention the 20 plus other shootings that took place in the week that followed that we didn't even hear about. Yeah. Just strap the fuck up, baby. At least you got trigger discipline. Sure. Funny because he pulled it out so politely. Look at this.
You don't need no help? You on the floor? You got a box?
Look at that. Look at the way he pulls it out. It's like I've never seen someone pull it out like this. It can't be real, right? There's no shot it's real. I feel like it's too heavy to be able to like hold it up like this. It's like it's like the, you know, call the hospital, but not for me. You know what I mean? Or call the ambulance, but not for me meme, you know? That's what this reminds me of. Where it's like, literally he was just like, just pulled it out, dude. Not real, that's a plastic gun? I think so too. Hasan, I genuinely want to know. I cannot help feel bad that I own guns as a leftist. Is something to reasonably feel bad about. I want stricter gun control, but I also enjoy firing guns and think they are cool. Why do you feel bad about owning a gun if you are literally a outspoken gun owner that is an advocate for gun control? I wish more gun control. I wish more gun owners were like outspoken gun control advocates. Okay, why would you feel bad, dude? Just support gun control, brother, and do that. And don't do the LARPy. Don't bring your gun to a protest. Like, don't do any of that dumb that actually puts people in direct danger. There's no reason to feel bad. I don't know. Pay Money Wubby has recently said his mind has been changed to be way more on board with gun control. I mean, thank you for coming to that. Thank you for coming to that that side of the argument, I guess. But
because you're being very.
Yeah, we covered this already. But basically, the mother who ran in and saved her kids after being handcuffed in Uvalde finally spoke out, right? And she spoke out yesterday, and then we found out that like the cops literally threatened her with obstruction of justice, dude. Obstruction of justice. Hasan, you have a very privileged take about guns. Dude, that's my favorite guy. My favorite guy in the chat is the guy who made an account. Oh, immediately banned. All right. My favorite guy in the chat is like a guy who made his like 700th sock account, clearly schizophrenic, okay? To be like, no, actually as a schizophrenic person, like I need to have a gun. I need to, when I'm not making like 1,000 sock accounts, I need to come in here and tell you how you are speaking to me through your memes that you post on the internet. And also, you're very privileged. I'm a leftist and you're privileged. Motherfuckers really think like it's peak liberalism and it's peak liberal aestheticism when you think you can just like drop the word privilege in an argument to think that you like won. You know what I mean? Like, oh, dude, fuck, I'm a leftist. You just dismantled my argument. Fuck. It's the same weirdo behavior that you see from leftists when they're like, well, Hasan, if we have gun control, then like black and brown people and poor people won't have access to weapons. It's like, what? Okay. Like, what? You think I think gun control is a bad thing? Like, you think? No, I think it's a good thing. Okay. I think that, like, yeah, black and brown people should not also have access to a fuckload of weapons in an arsenal that they are mishandling that then will end up killing them when their children blow their faces off. That's not privilege. That's just, like, reasonable. You would have to ultimately assume that, like, gun control is a bad thing for that argument to work. The privileged take would be, well, I'm rich, I'm isolated from gun violence, and the cops serve my interests, so give them more money. Yeah, the true privileged take would be like, I don't give a fuck, dude. You know, I already pay taxes, and I'm heavily arming the police force here in California anyway. Yeah, fuck you, dude. Suck me, okay? Yeah, you go die. To senseless gun violence. Grieving great-grandfather asked police in Uvalde why they didn't do anything to help his great-granddaughter who was murdered. A random white man tells him to stop living in the past. So on brand. Fuck yeah, dude.
Tell me. I don't work for this town.
sir. I know, fine. To work in this town, but the ones that work here.
We are all waiting for this, sir. But there's no reason to live in the past. There's nothing we can do.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. But how the poor gonna buy a $4K gun with gun control, you traitorous bourgeois? The full video.
I'm here. I'm a Marine Corps. Yeah. I lost my mother. I'm here. I'm here. Where's that police? There's my great-granddaughter. Where were you people when she was there at the class in the room? And they were.
You want to enforce gun control? The government and also the police. I don't know if you think that that's like a big own or something, but I am a. This is not outside of my principles. That I am a firm believer that like there needs to be an institution that at least creates a semblance of law and order. Police currently do not serve that function. They theoretically claim to serve that function, but they do not. I would like the police to serve that actual function. I am not a police abolitionist in the sense that, like, I believe that you can hug and kiss all of our problems away. Now, of course, do not misunderstand me. I think the overwhelming majority of violent crime happens as a consequence of our material conditions, and I think we need to tackle the systemic problems where there is systemic problems in which crime manifests. Okay. But yes, I do believe that there needs to be some form of some mechanism, some organization that upholds the laws that we have democratically designed. Okay?
Calling for help, and you policemen didn't do nothing about it. Where were you? Now that 911 call from the young little boy. What was it? Dinner 8? And he called you. You know why he called you 911? Because.
Would a community watch type system be better than form of policing? Fuck no, dude. What are you kidding me? No, dude. George Zimmerman was community watch. Have you ever seen neighborhood watch? Chaz Chop did community watch, and they still ended up murdering they murdered a black teenager. Okay.
911 because his mother, his father, and the teachers told him, call 911 and the police will be there to save you. Were you there? No, you were not there. But great-granddaughter is dead because you won't work there. Put me in jail, kill me, do whatever the hell you want. But I'm telling you, where you see, and them, they were calling for your help. Tell me.
Cops want to make him an excuse to arrest him so bad, but they know it would just make them look worse. Well, clearly they don't really care about looking as bad as humanly possible. Because, like I said, the mom that ran in and saved her kids after being handcuffed in Uvalde finally spoke out. And guess what? The police threatened her. A mother who ran into the Robb Elementary School to rescue her 2 children. We watched her video yesterday. Last week says the police threatened to violate her probation for speaking out about the incident to the reporters. Angeli Gomez told CBS News on Thursday that she was forced to rush into the school after watching police fail to quickly respond to the deadly shooting. A total of 19 students and 2 teachers were killed when the 18-year-old gunman Salvador Ramos entered the school and opened fire. After speaking critically about the incident to media outlets, Gomez said an officer threatened to charge her for violating probation on an unrelated charge for obstruction of justice. However, she added, first of all, this is pretty funny. Obstruction of justice? Bro, what obstruction? What justice? You know what I mean? Like, if anything, she actually did your job for you, so shut the fuck up. Cops be like, wow, you're going to run into the fire in my stead? You're going to run into this school and put your life on the line to save your children instead of me, well, you're obstructing my justice. Justice what? You eating Rice Krispie treats on the sidelines as like kids are being slaughtered inside? That's the justice that people are obstructing? If that's the case, like, good. They should obstruct more of that, okay? Because that's not justice. However, she added that she spoke to a local judge who assured her that she was brave and that she would not face legal repercussions for sharing her story. It is mind-boggling how fragile these limp dick, hot dog skinned pieces of shit are, okay? They are so incredibly thin skinned because they are so used to being babied by the local media. They're so used to being babied by the criminal justice system. They're so used to being babied by the fraternal order of the police that they can unironically engage in this like mafia style tactic to stop people from openly stating their disdain in a moment where they f***ed up so dramatically that they should perhaps sit this one out. Okay? This is a time for them to just sit the fuck down, you know? Just take a little bit of accountability. Just shut the fuck up. Eat it. Just eat it. That's the best thing you can do. Okay? And yet, they're like, nope, not going to do it because I'm so used to not having a fraction of accountability that I am literally going to turn around and yell at some of the people that did my job for me. How incredible. How brilliant, dude. That's great. That's great. I appreciate it. I appreciate them for part of the interview that woman that went in did. I already saw this, man. I don't know why you keep sending me the same link. We already covered this. We covered this yesterday. Here, we'll watch it again.
I said, well, you're going to have to arrest me because I'm going in there, and I'm telling you right now, I don't see none of y'all in there. Y'all are standing with snipers, and y'all are far away. If y'all don't go in there, I'm going in there. He immediately put me in cuffs.
She says after Uvalde police officers told marshals to uncuff Gomez, she ran towards the school.
As soon as they uncuffed me.
The funniest thing is like she literally was like, give me a Kevlar vest, dude. Give me your vest. She's like, give me your vest, dude. You're not using it. Give it to me. I'll use it. I'll use it appropriately. Give me the vest.
I jumped that first gate fence, and once I jumped it, I went to my son's class, and I knocked on the door, and I remember the teacher saying, I'm like, hey, they're already boach cutting the fence to get me. She's like, you think we have time to get out? I said, y'all have time. I'm going to run for my other son.
Once she was assured her son was okay, Gomez ran to get her other child, encountering more officers who tried to stop her.
We did see this yesterday, but some chatters have
and I'm
not.
like, well, y'all aren't doing what are y'all doing? Y'all ain't doing y'all need to be in here. Give me your vest. Somebody give me a vest. Something. I started paying attention to how far the shots.
Yeah, she literally is just like, give me a vest. You're not using it. Let me use it. Give me the goddamn vest.
Were being so that I knew the shooter was all the way still by my first son's class. So when I went to my second son's door, the teacher didn't want to open the door for me. So that's when they started escorting me out. And as I see that they're opening my son's door, I go run for my son and I get him.
With both of her kids out safe, Gomez still can't shake the thought of those who didn't make it.
While you were inside the school, did you see officers
there was
inside
not one
the school?
Officer inside the school when I ran to my second son's class. There was not one officer.
And you were hearing gunshots, so you knew
you could hear the gunshots.
Was an active shooter.
It was still active. The gunshots were still active. They were not in there. There was no one in there. If anything, when I pulled up, my car was closer to the school than where the snipers and everybody that was laying on the ground were.
When you heard that it took law enforcement 75 minutes before they went in and stopped the shooter.
You're so disingenuous about community policing by cherry picking. Dude, listen. Pipe down, anarchists, okay? Pipe down. Quiet down, anarchist.
What was your thinking? Having been...
Sorry, the adults are talking. We're not having a conversation about mutual aid, okay? In that situation, you can chime in and tell me, exactly how great what you're doing is, all right? Because I agree with you. We're talking about community policing, okay? Let's just dial it back. It's just like, how are you any different than? Oh my God, dude! How are you any different than the anarcho-capitalist in that situation? You're literally just like, I'm also a libertarian. I want to make sure that like random random people in the neighborhood should have guns and defend the neighborhood that way. You know?
Inside the school yourself.
I don't know. I was just thinking that they could have saved many more lives. They could have gone into that classroom and maybe 2 or 3 would have been gone, but they could have saved the whole class. They could have done something. Gone through the window, sniped them through the window. I mean, something, but nothing was being done. If anything, they were being more aggressive on us parents that were willing to go in there. And like I told one of the officers, I don't need you to protect me. Get away from me. I don't need your protection. If anything, I need you to go in there with me to go protect my kids. And if anything, they were being more aggressive on us. They were more pertaining on keeping us back than getting into that school.
Yeah. Don't yell at. Do not yell at. Check out ELZN. Oh my god. Okay, dude, you got it. You are literally a Zapatista, dude. You are literally a Zapatista, brother. I swear to God. You are. Yes. You are Subcomandante Marcos, dude. You're literally smoking a pipe out of your balaclava as we speak. It's also EZLN, not ELZN, chatters. He mistyped it, but you are straight up defending. You are defending the brave cooperative coffee farmers from the cartel in Mexico as we speak, dude. Straight up. It's crazy. I can't believe the balaclava sporting homie is in my chat right now. Zapatista equals bad? No, of course not, dude. It's not. Okay? It's not. But people unironically point to a completely destroyed infrastructure, okay, in a country that is riddled with basically a country that is just owned by the cartel, and there's like regional cartels that basically run the entire show, to what I'm talking about with respect to like an actually well-organized society. Yeah, they are in the Chiapas region, yes. White anarchists stop LARPing as Zapatista's impossible difficulty? Surely that's better than whatever this is? No, it's not better than whatever this is. That is brought about by the conditions that those people are subjected to. Okay? That's not exactly a fun time for anybody involved. What do you mean? I think it's actually, people literally live in Idaho and then turn around and be like, man, it'd be so sick to constantly be under gunpoint and threat by the cartels that we need to have like our own militia to defend ourselves as we like, I don't know, farm as many coffee beans as we possibly can to sell it to Alex Jones. Like you think that's good, dude? You literally, dude, you personally think that your life is ruined when your favorite TV show gets canceled, and then you turn around and act like you would want to live in a situation like that when you clearly wouldn't. Corrido music has glamorized narco culture, kind of how hip-hop supposedly did in the USA. Anyway. Like how your show got canceled a few days later when you tweeted about it. Yo, my friend, you have to understand, like, I recognize my privilege. Like, that's the difference, okay? I recognize my privilege. A lot of these don't. They act like they fantasize and romanticize about militia movements that were created out of necessity, without analyzing the material conditions that went into said militia movements and the catastrophic societal collapse that led to the necessity of said militia movements. Okay? That's insane to me. We're not at that point, and I never want to get to that point. It's kind of like the Ukraine take, right? Everybody loves fantasizing about Ukraine, like they're fighting against a militant invading force, a brutal occupying force. Isn't that sick? It's like they're just doing the same thing as like Afghanistan. It's like, bro, do you think it's good? Do you think Afghanistan is good 20 years later? No, it's not. It's not good at all. So if you truly care about the people of Ukraine, you should recognize that the continuation of said war is only bad for the actual Ukrainian civilians, the Ukrainian citizens. It's terrible. It's a terrible situation that they're faced with now. Also, this is without recognizing that the only robust militias that we have, active militias that we have in this country for the most part, are right-wing psychos. LARPing like that is doing the same that gun do when they patrol Chipotle, but with the reassurance that your politics are the correct ones. Exactly, Michael. You are 100% correct on that. It's just LARPing, but from a leftist point of view. And it's even less realistic than a fascist militia actually taking some semblance of power, because a right-wing fascist militia is at least backed by the reactionary government. A left-wing militia is not. You will get vaporized, okay? And then everyone will make fun of you.